I did not expect my keyboard mod to work this well. I turned this keyboard into an AI prompting machine. And you can too, I'll show you how. This video has got 10 insane features that will help you get started. So whether you're interested in hardware, in programming, or AI, or if you just want a good productivity hack to make your workflow a lot quicker, then this definitely could be the thing for you. My name's Christine, and I have been teaching for over 20 years. And I've also written a book that will help people get started with wearables. My channel is all about creating wearable technology with creative and fun projects that you can make and wear. Hey, you can even wear this if you want. Let's jump right in. So I have 10 insane features that you're absolutely gonna love. Number 5 might be surprising, but I will finish the video with one warning. Do not do the same mistake that I made. The mod that started it all. So the starting point was just getting this keyboard. So I was really lucky, and this was given to me as a gift, and it looked amazing. But it also looked a little bit daunting. Like, I was thinking, am I good enough to program this? And all those doubts kind of crept in a little bit. And so I did get it plugged in, and it has the initial startup code, which was really cool and very exciting. And I showed everybody how cool this thing was. And then I put it back in the box. So that's fine. I came back to it later and thought, I do want to use this. I'm gonna give it a go. I have a little bit of time set aside to get this thing running. Eventually, I found the YouTube video from Wallace Projects, and he also offered a startup code on there, which looked great. So I went to his GitHub, grabbed the code, and I did have some initial issues just trying to make sure all my libraries got installed. I set up a project in Platform.io. I do have a video talking about Platform.io setup if you need it, but you can also use Arduino as your programming environment. And ultimately, I did get his code to run, and it was fabulous. But a lot of the programming editors at the moment, they already give you these programming snippets. So it was really super cool. And again, I showed everybody I knew because it was super cool. But then I put it back in the box. So that was the mod that started it all. And it went from this to this. And ultimately, it's a great start, but I want it to go to this. So for me, I was thinking about, what do I really want this board to do? AI prompting and making my life efficient. Number one thing I could think of. Number 9, customizing colors. Who does not like to add a bit of customization? I know I sure do. And this board is fantastic for customizing everything. So you can customize the background colors, you can customize the lovely NeoPixel effects, the WS2812s, you can customize the colors of your text, the size of your text, everything. So customizing colors is a really fun feature. I wanted to make this as easy as possible for anyone grabbing this video. So my code has an area right at the top, and this area will help you customize the colors really easy. I've offered some of the color choices down at the very bottom of the code. So here is where you can choose a color and just write the name of that color, and that will apply the effects. When I first did it, I just decided that every screen would be the same color, but at least I could customize the screen color. But I had to take it a little further, and now I've reprogrammed it so each screen within each set that is pressed can also be customized. So this is the area in the code where you can customize your board too. Number 8 is AI prompt optimization. This is down to you. In the code, you will see there are these areas of text at the very, well, not the very top, but near the top. And you can now go in and just alter exactly what text you would like to be entered when you press the button. So this is the text that would be entered into the AI program prompt window, and you can customize it fully, completely, and easy. So you would put your AI prompts, so this keyboard will make your workflow effortless, and it is a huge time saver. So now your prompts are stored, and you can easily recall them straight into the AI editor that you're using with one simple button press. It is a game changer for your time. Number 7 is just the one-click edit mode. Super simple. All the prompts are at the top. You only need to click and edit one line of code, press upload, and it will have your code for you. When you need to upload to the board, don't forget you will need to unplug it, press the button, and plug it back in. That will put it into program mode for you. You'll know it's in program mode because your screens will all be blank, and then upload your code. Number 6, we have our AI compatibility and our compatibility with any editors that we're using. So this is fantastic. It doesn't matter what AI or what service you're using or what documentation. It might be a text editor, a Word document, or the AI prompts, which is how I'm using it. It will work with any of these. So you don't need to limit yourself. You can make decisions along the way. If you want to use different AI editors, you can just program that in, again, with our single line of code to change, which is fantastic. Because we all know there are new editors coming out all the time, and you may want to try them. So this leads me perfectly into my next super feature. So this is number 5, and this is a super bonus feature. I love it. So I wasn't intending on doing this when I started, but as I started using the board and programming it, I realized there is a lot of potential for this. So I moved it up a notch, and I managed to also get the board. When you press it, it will launch your favorite AI editors for you. Now, I often go through different periods where I might be using GPT quite a lot, but then I might choose Gemini, or I might use Perplexity. There's so many out there, and they all have slightly different tweaks and features. So all you need to do is create a screen, or in this case, 4 screens, and put down, so these are my 4 at the moment. I've got my chat, my Copilot, my Gemini, and the Manus, which is a newer one that I've been given a try, but it's really awesome. So you can go into the code and alter the URLs, and this little keyboard will launch the URL for you. It is such an ultimate hack. It's a time saver. Number 4 is just super fun. It's how you can mod it too. So it did take me a little while to read through the code and fully understand what was going on behind the scenes, but there's no reason why you can't do the same and turn this into your ultimate hacking machine, essentially. So I've got mine set up to launch Windows. You can set it up to launch full programs. You can change the images on the top so it's showing actual photos of things. There's so much more you can do with this keyboard. It's really up to you how you hack it. Feel free to use my code as a platform to kind of launch what you then do with your creativity. But there's so much you can do with this. There's really just your imagination is the only limit, I think. Number 3, although that looked like 5. Number 3 is probably what you've been waiting for, or you may be sped up to see it. This is the speed test. Is it actually an efficient hack? Let's have a look. The speed test is super important. So I'm going to test 3 things. The first one is I'm just going to test my typical manner. I'm going to open my prompt. I'm going to type in all the things I would normally type in, and I'm just going to see how that goes. So that is my first test. Second test is I need to see my other method where I would save some of my prompts and information in a Google Keep document. So I need to go to Google Keep, wait for that to load, find the document in Google Keep that has my often used prompts, get that copied, paste it, and then wait for the response. So that is my second method. And my third, as you probably have guessed, is with my T Keyboard Pro. It is fun to use, so there is that, but we also want it to be fast, not just fun. Here's the results. Number 2, this mod feels like a cheat code. And basically it does. It gives me so much productivity boosts that when I first started creating what I thought was a useful use of this, of pressing one button and it gives me a prompt, I then went overboard, I guess. And then I decided to have 5 different sets of prompts you could use for 5 different situations. You can take this further. You can program it and have 10 different sets. 5 suits me perfect at the moment. I do a lot of work in education. I do a lot of work with wearables and making circuits. And also I'm trying to make YouTube videos. But each of those has different requirements and needs. So I made a particular set for each. It might be that you're asking for tags. I do ask for tags quite a lot, but sometimes I need hashtags with commas between them and the hash symbol. Sometimes I just need tags with a comma. So there's different ways, and I have to ask for help. But if you can press one button and it just says, please offer me suggestions in this, it goes so much quicker. So this feels like I've next leveled a little bit. I got a cheat code going on, and this is the same way you can use my cheat codes too. And number 1 is, this is the future of AI productivity hacks, no doubt. Do you think the same? Please let me know. But I'm finding this is such a game changer for the time I'm spending, not having to retype the same types of codes and prompts and questions that I type in all the time. Imagine if every keyboard had this feature. It would be fantastic. So how would you use this keyboard? Do you think it's the future of AI to be able to just do a single quick prompt with a button? How would you use this keyboard? Now, I did promise at the very start of my video that there was a warning. I did something that was a really bad idea. So here is now my warning to you. Don't do what I did. When I started typing in the text that I wanted to appear, I was also using it for shortcuts, for example, for some of my YouTube descriptions in the description field. However, I wanted to use the Unicode values for the fun things like the little purple heart or the little arrow pointing emoji and so on. When I typed in the emoji codes, though, the kind of U plus 128 or whatever it is you were using, when I pressed that key, my computer did not like it. It opened Windows. It kind of had a whole mind of its own. So when I first programmed it with those things in mind, and the device went a little bit crazy, stopped my own keyboard from working, I had a little freak out. I did fix it, obviously. But do not, at the start of your text string, don't use a Unicode character to start it because it could have unpredictable results, to say the least. So don't do the same mistake I did. The other little tip, and this is a bonus tip, but for the URLs, when you've typed them in, leave a space. So full URL and leave a space. So I have it where it links to my videos or it links to like Tinker Tailor and something. But leave a space after it and then close the quote marks. That as well, I was reading up on this, and that as well can have unpredictable effects, which we do not want. So those 2 things, don't use the Unicode characters at the start of your text string, and if you put a URL in that you want to be a live URL, leave a space at the end of it.